I'm Marin, and this is Post-its and Pens. Hello and welcome to or welcome back to my channel. My name is Marin, and here you will find a little beauty, a little books, and a little teaching content. So if that sounds like something you might enjoy, I would love for you to subscribe and stick around and join me in my little corner of YouTube. Today I am going to take you through a classroom prep vlog type style video. So I have been filming some clips as I've prepped things for my classroom. So I'm going to kind of intersperse those, and then I'm going to go ahead and take you along with me here as I finish up the rest of the things that I would like to do to get my classroom ready or prepped for next year. So I am not allowed into my classroom like a lot of other teachers are. We do not have free reign to come and go in the building. And until I get an email from my principal saying that we can come in, I'm just here at home, which honestly is fine with me. It's fine with me. That way I get to enjoy the last bits of my summer. So it would not surprise me if I'm actually not allowed back into my building until the second week of August. That would not be surprising because we have summer school. So the custodians are going to have to get the floors and everything done pretty much in a week and a half after summer school ends and before we report back for a week or orientation week. So anyway, it's not a big deal. I can do some things around here, and I just thought I would take you along with me as I do them in case you're curious to see what I'm changing or prepping for the upcoming school year. So let's go ahead and get into the vlog.
Stumbling home.
Okay, so before I get into current footage, I'm going to go ahead and run through some older footage that I took. It is currently July 23rd, so I started taking footage probably 2 or 3 weeks ago. So I'm going to go ahead and roll those clips now, and then we can get into what I am doing today.
We don't know where we're going. Should have turned back hours ago. Out of our minds, I guess we're sleeping outside. You're still a good time, even in the cold. Get out the road, I told you. A car's coming, I stop you. You know I always got you. You know I always got you. Push it to the side.
Okay, so I'm not laminating these just yet, just in case I have anything small that I wind up printing, since there's still some room left on here. So yeah, don't want to waste the laminating sheets if I don't have to.
Even if it means that I die, I wouldn't hesitate about it, wouldn't even think about it. I know I really love you. Push it to the side, even if it means that I die.
Alright, so I just cut out all of the laminating that I've been doing while I was listening to an audiobook. So I figured I'd go ahead and take you through what I've printed or made for my classroom so far in case you are interested. A couple of things that I wanted to change this year was my objectives board. So right now it's very bright colors, so I decided to redo them in a more neutral color scheme. So I used Miss Jacobs Little Learner's little letter pack that I can't remember what it's called for sure, but I'll link it down below, to make my heading for my board. So I have all the letters here that just spell out objectives. And then I redid the actual things that I'm going to write on as well. So I purchased a couple of, I guess, digital paper packs. Again, I'll link everything down below that I can link. And I just redid my objectives headers. So I just have all of the subjects: math, reading, writing, letters, social studies, science. And I added a little clip art down here at the bottom. This is the same clip art that I use on my schedule. So just to keep it all consistent, and then I just put we can. So that's all I did. So I made these myself just on PowerPoint. The clip art though, obviously I purchased off TPT. I also redid our PBIS posters. So I had purchased a pack probably 4 or 5 years ago where she had made a bunch of different PBIS posters. However, a couple years ago, our district kind of made our PBIS goals universal. So I needed to redo one because she did not have one for persevere, which is one of our traits. So I made it myself, but it's just they've all gotten beat up over the years. Again, I printed them like 5 or 6 years ago, I think, actually, at this point. So I took her idea. I will link her bundle down below, but I took her idea and just did it myself. So I made one for Be Safe. We have Persevere, Be Responsible, Be Cooperative, and Be Kind. So I just redid the posters using her thing. So all of the things that I put here are straight from her pack. And then I put my own clip art on them just to kind of represent my students a little bit better. But yeah, I'm going to link her original kit down below. And yeah, obviously I will not be selling these or anything. This was her idea. I just adapted them to fit my color scheme and our district's universal PBIS standards, if you will. So the other thing that I did not have in my classroom last year, again, I was only in my classroom for the last quarter of the year, so I'm really not changing that much, but I am going to put up a birthday board. That's something that my students always really enjoy. So I just printed these little pennants, if you will. I'm going to use clothespins to clip on there for each kid's birthday. These are from, I believe her name is Busy Buys, B-I-E-S, Busy Bees, Busy Buys, I don't know. But again, I'll link it down below. I just printed all of them. And then the last thing that I purchased was a couple of things from Stephanie Nash. She is a Touch of Class teaching. So I purchased her voice levels because I'm going to redo those. So this is just something that she put together. I only do 0, 1, and 2. I don't need my students using any kind of presenter voice, and I definitely don't need them using an outside voice. So I don't print those. I just do the ones for the classroom. And then I also purchased her flip calendar thing. So it has the days of the week, which I have hole punched, but it's really difficult to hole punch these. So I've only done the days, but I've got the days of the week. I've got the months. I only did August through June. And then I've got the dates, 1 through 31. And of course I have the years. She has taken this all the way up to 2025 right now. So won't have to reprint that for a while, but so I will need to hole punch all of those to hang them on the magnetic curtain rod, but all of that can wait until I'm feeling like doing that. And then the last thing I made, again, this was Miss Jacob's Little Learners. I just printed out birthdays to put on the birthday board. So that's everything that I've done for my classroom thus far. There are a couple of things that I want to cut out on my Cricut. I'm going to relabel a couple of plastic drawer units, things like that, but otherwise that's really it. Again, I only used my classroom for a quarter last year, so I don't really need to change very much at all. Not interested in doing that. I did a whole bunch of printing, laminating, all that before last year, so we're pretty much going to be good to go, as you will see once I'm able to get back into my classroom. So now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to paper clip the things together. I'm going to put them in some Ziploc bags, write on them what they are, and then I'm going to just put them in the tub where I've been keeping all of my school things so that when I get back to school, everything will be ready to go and I can just easily pull it out, put it up on the bulletin boards, and be done. Okay, so one of the things that I decided to change this year is my calendar. So previously I had a blue pocket chart with the calendar pieces, and I'd purchased those my very first year of teaching. So I'm going into my 10th year of teaching. So this year I decided I wanted to switch that blue pocket chart over to a black one just to keep it more neutral. So I had picked up just this calendar thing from Amazon. It's just a black pocket chart. It comes with all these pieces, but we're going to have some first year teachers in our building this year, so I'm hoping maybe one of them can just use the pieces because I do not want these. I decided to make my own. So the first thing I'm going to do is print out just one set of each part of the calendar to make sure it fits in the pocket chart. So I took measurements and I've made up calendar pieces on PowerPoint, but now I need to make sure that they're actually going to work. So I'm going to print those first and make sure that they fit before I print the whole thing. So here we go. Okay, so hello. I made the calendar pieces 3 by 3 as that's what I had read that each of the little squares on the pocket chart are. So now we're going to see if that's actually right or if I need to shrink them down. Okay, so this is what the days of the week just look like. I took some rainbow clip art that I'd purchased off TPT and just put them into boxes. So I'm going to cut one of these out, make sure it fits into the chart, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so that's just one little square. Now let's shove it in and see if it fits. Okay, it's perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and print the rest of the small little squares out. I also want to make sure I like the look of the months that I made. So I'm going to print one set of those out, check to make sure that works or looks the way I want it to look. And then we'll print and cut the rest of these out. Can't wait. So exciting.
I guess we need a new plan. There's a motel a mile down the road. Finally can stand back and still
Alright, so this is what the month looks like on the chart. So I think that's a nice size. The students should be able to see it from where they're sitting. So I'm going to go ahead and print those out as well.
I guess we need a new plan. There's a motel a mile down the road. Finally can stand.
Okay, so I've got everything cut out. I am going to put it into laminating sleeves and then laminate it, but I'm not going to show you that because that's not really very interesting. So instead, I have a little list of things that I would like to do still for my classroom. So right here, I just have 3 things. So print calendar pieces, my small group labels, and then I'm redoing my library labels. However, I haven't quite decided what I want to do for my library labels. So my district does require us to have leveled books in our library. So I am going to do 1 bin per letter, if you will. I think last year I took it up to H. I think it was H. So I'm just going to have like 1 basket leveled, and then I'm going to take the rest of the books and I'm going to sort them by topic. So like last year I had students who really were interested in reading animal books, and I had several girls who really wanted to read all about, you know, female characters. So think like Fancy Nancy, Pinkalicious. So I'm going to try to go through and organize that. However, I cannot do that until I actually get into my classroom so that I can physically sort the books out, because I don't actually know what I have. I have so many books, like so many books, y'all. So I'm going to have to wait on that, but I am going to go ahead and make the library labels for A through H, just so I have 1 of each of those and I can print them and laminate them. But yeah, other than that, I'm going to have to wait and see what kind of books I actually have before I make or find labels that will work for those. I would really like to do realistic clip art for the topics, but yeah, again, I'm going to have to wait and see what I have. And as I mentioned earlier, I'm not allowed in my classroom yet, so that's going to have to wait a while. And in fact, it may not even get done before school starts, depending on when I'm actually allowed in, which is fine because for the first several weeks of school, my students won't be using the library anyway. I will just be pulling books out, putting them into bins to teach them book handling skills and things like that. So it'll all work out in the end, but that's what I'm going to go ahead and do now. I'm going to make up those labels. I'm probably just going to do what I did for the days of the week, to be honest. I think I'm just going to take that rainbow clip art and just put the letter on it. So I'm going to play around with that. I'll bring you along as I work on that. And then that's probably going to be it for this vlog, since I don't really think anyone wants to watch any more laminating or cutting. One other thing I'm going to do before I sign off of this vlog, I'm going to make labels for my small group. So I had purchased these bins from Target. I'm going to just do a measurement here and then make up some labels on PowerPoint. I use colors for my groups because I have the tables numbered. They have their own personal numbers. And if I were to do like group 1, group 2, that would be confusing, I feel. So instead I just use colors. So I'm going to go ahead and make those up. I'm just going to use the same little polka dot background that I have on these to make them. I'm going to measure this out to make them larger and then print those out as well. So I think that will probably be it. So here we go.
Still looking for land. Jump on my back, I'll take you home. You know I always got you. You know I always.
Okay, so I think I'm going to play around and see what I like better. I might actually just use the dots for the library labels as well to keep them a little bit more neutral. I have pink, so this same color, I bought some book bins from Target. So I'm thinking rather than having more colors in terms of the rainbow, I'm probably going to just use the polka dots. Looking at it now, I think that would make the most sense. So change of plans, but I'm just going to use the polka dots for the small groups and for the library labels. Okay, so typically I do not use cursive fonts in my classroom, but since this is for me and I think it's cute, I'm going to go ahead and use it on my small group labels, but nothing else that I have in my classroom has cursive font. It's just something that I think you need to be aware of. Students who are young cannot read that. So if you're putting something up for them, it needs to be in a font that they can read. I typically use KG Red Hands. I also like KG Primary Penmanship and Penmanship 2. KG Lego House is still a cute font, but it still makes the letters the right way. So yeah, just kind of pay attention to that if you're making things and you're a first year teacher. So just something to keep in your head to make sure whatever you're putting up is actually useful for your students. Okay, so this is what I've gone ahead and made up for my small groups. And then as you saw, I also did a letter for each of the leveled book bins. So I'm going to go ahead and print those out, and then I think that's going to be it for today. Okay, so that's going to be it for this little classroom prep vlog. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you would like to see more from me, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, everyone.